we good? Oh, I'm on. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Carolyn Mellor, and this is a session about the X.commerce community. I had a really good time at the after party last night. I got all tatted up, and I just want to make sure everybody's feeling okay. Everybody's okay? Yeah? And now I have to take this off so my mother doesn't see me online on the video and think I got a tattoo. So anybody who wants some really cool limited edition t-shirts that I'm going to throw out to the crowd here has to move in because my arm isn't great. But I was wondering, anybody out there a current member of X.com? Woohoo! No internals. Anybody know when we launched X.com, the new X.com? I do. No internals. Purple shirt. What date? Just give me a year. Oh, see, I don't have a great arm. No, my mother will get upset. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about the X.commerce community, and just to start off, besides my sleeve that I took off, my official title actually on my business card is Zen Goddess of Developer Happiness. Little story about that. My boss, I was the original employee of the community team, and he said, I don't know what you want to call yourself. Whatever. I don't care. And so when your boss says that, you don't go with director or senior manager. You go right to the top. You go right to goddess. So that's what I did, and it stuck. And I was with PayPal for 5 years before I joined the X.commerce team. I've been with the PayPal developer program for about 3 of those 5 years. I worked in product and technical support before that. And I've been in technology for 20 years, and recently on a bus tour event, I met a 16-year-old entrepreneur who was getting funding, and I told him I had been in this business longer than he had been alive, and he made me feel really unaccomplished. My team with the orange shoes works on the community programs and on X.com, which is our community site. So I'm going to take a step back a little bit and talk about our overall vision for X.com that you've heard over the last 2 days. We fundamentally believe that technology is changing the ways that consumers shop, and we see these 4 megatrends as the things that are shaping those changes: mobile, local, social, and digital. And in fact, the days of the buyer going into a store and buying something and going through a checkout line are really going away. And we know that now a buyer can go in and scan something and buy it from their phone, go to the store across the street and get it for less money. And they also can share their purchases online through social networking. And things like Groupon and discounts are really driving traffic to local stores. And so we know that merchants are having a hard time keeping up. We've shown that. You saw the Extreme Commerce makeover yesterday. And so how do we help merchants keep up was the question that we were asking ourselves. And so we really believe the way merchants keep up is through the power of our developer community. We believe that the developer community, the whole, is greater than the sum of its parts. And the one thing I want you to take away from this is that our team, the community team, the evangelism team, we want you to be successful. So that's what we're here for. And we are here to empower you and engage you to be successful on our platform. And so we really do have some really strong, great developer communities already. We have PayPal with over 85,000 developers that we launched in 2009, with over 2,200 apps built on the PayPal APIs. We also have eBay developer program, our longest running, over 10 years, and actually 25% of the listings on eBay are done through third-party applications. And then we have Magento, which just joined our team, and they have hundreds of thousands of merchants that are being supported by a global partner and developer group. And so all of these current developer communities come in to make X.commerce. And this is really how we envision all of these units coming together and what we want to create. You see, X.com is the framework, and then we have a developer community and now a merchant community that we're empowering, and we really want them to engage with each other. We're definitely there to support and enable them, but we really want the conversation, the commerce, the technology, and the know-how to be shared between these two groups and within these two groups. And so what I'm going to talk to you today about is our timeline and some things we're going to be offering over the next several months to enable developers to be successful and merchants to find developers and developers to find merchants, and for us to exchange technology and ideas and be successful. So the first thing, did everybody see okay, who saw the bus last night? Okay, who went on the bus last night? Okay, no internals. I've got hecklers up front. That's for you. So we've been on a nationwide bus tour to raise awareness for X.commerce, and we've been going to different events, which we've been doing for several years, but in this tour we've been going to merchant and developer events to really start the conversation about what we're doing. We plan to continue this. Events are a huge part of our programs. We go out and our evangelist team speaks on our products from a technical point of view. The community team is there to talk to developers about how we can make them successful, and also to talk to merchants about what products we offer. So we do all kinds of events, grassroots events on our campus. We go to meetups, Tech Cocktail, which is kind of an entrepreneurial event, and then large events like Innovate. One of the things we really want to do for next year is start facilitating kind of homegrown user groups for all of you. So wherever you live, whether it's Australia, Stephen Cooper, or Nebraska, that's where I'm from, you can start a local user group to really talk about commerce and what's going on in commerce. We'd like these to be merchant and developer events where we can facilitate conversations about what you can do on our platform with our partners, but also in the entire commerce realm. And we will start facilitating these in 2012, and if you are interested in being a facilitator, or if you know somebody who is, that is my email address, c@x.com. I'd love to hear from you and get your ideas, as well as if you'd like to participate. And yes, my email address is the shortest one because, again, I was part of the original launch, but it also means that I get spam in every language from all over the world. The other thing that we've recently done is we relaunched X.com with the X.commerce story on it. And part of that relaunch was improving our forum and discussion functionality. So one of the things we've done is actually put out a functionality kind of like a Stack Overflow tagging kind of functionality for our forums that allows you to have an answer marked as an answer and to vote the top answer to the top. So what that allows you to do is if you're having a question about one of our tool sets, you can go in and find the best answer to that question. We also have improved our search functionality greatly on our site. So we have a ton of content from 10 years with the eBay developer program, PayPal's developer program for about 6 years we've had forums. So we have a ton of information out there about anything you'd like to find out about. And so now you can search in and get to the right answers. We have tons of collaboration available already, and we will be rolling out some more. This is a really important part of how we want to facilitate you being successful. We allow everyone on X.com to have a blog, unless you want to spam for Canadian medical supplies. But I'm just kidding. But every member can blog about their specific topic of knowledge. We have people blogging with code samples. We have people blogging about their business. This picture here is actually from a developer who was blogging about his new business. We also have had several writers blog about different things trending in commerce and in technology. And then we're rolling out wikis in the next 2 months, so what that would enable you to do is be able to actually go into our documentation or documentation that other users have put out there and collaborate on it and create something even better. And that could be from code sample to commenting to adding information. And then certifications. How many of you got to go and do a Magento beta test? Oh, shirts. How was it? Oh, sorry. Awesome. So as you may have heard, we rolled out beta testing for Magento at Innovate. They've been doing some certification training since Imagine in March, I believe. So they actually have on-site training going on, and you can find out more on magento.com about that. We are planning to roll out certification for developers across all of our properties. So PayPal actually had a certification that was live until recently that we've taken down to revamp and redo the testing. And we want to have this be an overall program for everyone and have it be somewhat consistent so that developers can go in and pick out what skill set they want to be listed as and have, certification in. And so you should be seeing more about that in the next several months. And I believe it'll roll out in the beginning of 2012. Feedback. I think you probably heard Naveed say today on stage that we hold back a portion of our roadmap for your feedback. This has been something we've been doing since we launched X.com in 2009 in the PayPal X platform. We hold back a certain percentage to actually create features that we have been asked to create. And so what that facilitates is us having the ability to put those into a road mapping exercise with our product team. We love getting feedback. Please, you've already seen my email, which is super easy to remember. But feedback at X.com goes to my team, and we actually work with the product team to have them change or add product features. We have poll functionality on X.com, so we've been asking questions about things you want to see. In fact, we asked a question recently about this very conference and what you wanted to hear about. So we'll continue that. We have forums that we monitor every day. We have a great team of moderators that send feedback to the product team, and we use that as well in our road mapping exercises. And then coming soon, we are going to release some functionality that is going to allow you to put your ideas out there and have them voted up or down by the community. So that'll let us know what features the community really wants and build them. We have 2 councils right now that run for our developer councils. And again, if you're interested in participating, I would encourage you to reach out to me. Right now we have a PayPal Developer Council and an eBay Developer Council. They meet quarterly, and we bring in the product team to talk about future products that are coming out and feature sets. We also take feedback from the council as representatives of the developer community. And we talk about new ideas. So we talk about trending things, we talk about innovate, what kind of sessions we want to do. So they really have a great deal of importance in what we do every day. And so if anyone's interested, please let me know. Our merchant councils also meet quarterly. We have just recently started this up as we launched X.commerce, and we are really excited about this group because they actually meet in smaller groups to talk about specific issues like marketing or operating a business. And so they really are interacting with each other as well as talking to us about product features, road mapping, and feedback. Coming soon, we're partnering with Badgeville, who is a business local here that does rewards and recognition for community sites. And we will be rolling out an entirely new point system on our site for on and offline participation. I talked about earlier, online or user groups offline, creating commerce groups in your local community. We'd love to recognize people for doing that, speaking at events, talking to other developers, people like the award winners that got up on stage today that we recognized that are really helping build community and ecosystem because that is so fundamental to all of our success. As I said, we'll be rolling this out in the next couple months, and we'll give points for all different kinds of participation, from forums to blogs to offline. We actually rolled out the developer directory this week, and yay! This is actually a real-world example of things that we're doing to make sure that developers can interact with merchants and get hired. And what this is a partnership with Odesk, and we are having people take a short skills test in each one of our properties. It's not a certification, just a short skills test. We've rolled out PayPal and eBay, and they are actually online right now. You can see people's ratings, how they've been rated by merchants. You can also see how long they've been doing their job and how well they've been received, how much money they've made, etc., how many hours they've worked. So this is a great way for freelance developers to get listed in a specific skill like PayPal, eBay, and Magento is rolling out this week as well. And they can actually get hired from X.com directly. Soon we'll be rolling out some functionality, again in partnership with Odesk, to have developers be able to find jobs from merchants. So anything that's listed as a job for a freelance developer, they can find on X.com and apply for. O'Reilly Media, who is also a sponsor here at the event, has been a great partner of ours for over a year, and we've been very lucky to have their authors write all kinds of technical articles about our products. And we are expanding this relationship to include all of our properties. They've written articles on Magento how-tos. They've done samples for us on PayPal APIs and eBay. And we actually are rolling out some new functionality with them now, of Question of the Week, where they pose a question to the community to get feedback. We also have a partnership with them for publishing technical books. We have one book with them called Getting Started with the PayPal APIs. We will be releasing a second edition of that. And there's a lot of great content on this page. I'll show it to you in a little bit so you can see it live. And then finally, this is the team that, who you going to call? Okay, who can tell me what who you going to call is from? I can't throw out shirts when you don't raise your hand. Anybody want to sing it? Then I'll give you a shirt. Okay, who can name who sang it? Oh, awesome. That was fabulous. You must be a child of the 80s like me. So this is my team, and I'm going to have them wave because they're all here because this is the last session of the last day at 4:15, and I wasn't sure anyone was going to be here. Joanne Peach, who runs our eBay developer community. You guys better clap for me loud if you're going to clap for Joanne like that. Murda Rivera, who runs our PayPal developer community. Smriti Gupta, who just joined the team recently. She is X.commerce. That's me in a big blue chair. Can anybody name where that is? Anybody know where that blue chair is? Oh, you get a T-shirt.
Where is it?
Sonoma. Surprise, surprise, I was drinking wine. Thus the tattoo joke earlier. Corrado Tomasino is in the back. He is our EU community manager. And then Autumn Birchfield, whose first day was yesterday, who's also working for X.commerce. And the reason I wanted you guys to see these folks, not only is this is so important to building a community, but as I said earlier when I talked about being the Zen goddess of developer happiness, I was the original member 2 years ago on this team, and we have never had a community team. So I am super excited, and I want you to know how important this is to us as an organization to build our community and ecosystem and to support developers and merchants. So that was the reason why I wanted you to see that team. And then we have our evangelist team, who I don't know if they're all here because they don't really like me. Sydney is in the back. I know he is. Praveen Alavilli, whose name is spelled wrong here. Sorry. And then John LeBlanc, who is in the back. No, John is not. He just spoke. And then we have a brand new member of that team as well. And you have to say your name because I'll not say it right. Saranyan. And now a cheap plug. We are having a dev camp tomorrow. And I don't know if everybody saw it on the website when they registered for Innovate, but this is a deep dive technical session of our tool sets and APIs. And so it's happening at the Westin St. Francis. There is still available room. They will actually be doing coding sessions, so they'll be longer. Yeah, there is. Yeah, and you have to bring your badge for attendance and sign up on the Eventbrite site. Sid's in the back. Sid, only PHP tomorrow? And it is our largest developer community as well, so it makes sense as a decision point. I think that what you'll find out, though, is as our evangelists are going to your areas, you'll see that they do all kinds of different coding samples. You saw Praveen on stage today doing that with HTML5. So there are tons of examples and toolkits out on X.com as well in all kinds of languages. So if you go out to X.com, you will not see just PHP for sure. there you go. See, I'm already building community just sitting here. Okay, I'm going to show you the website a little bit now because I wanted to kind of show you that this is all out there. X.com has gone from being a developer portal to an overall site for the corporation, the business unit of X.commerce. So there's a lot more out there now, and I know I've gotten some feedback from folks that, gosh, it used to just be developer tools and documentation, and now it's this huge, more business-like site. But I just wanted to show you that everything you need to know is under developer, and you can go there and find all of our properties. Magento is still a separate site and will continue to be, as I don't know of a roadmap that they're coming over here. So you can go to magento.com to get anything on Magento specifically, but for the other properties you can get that here. And when I say other properties, I mean Milo, Where, all of the things that we've talked about at the conference, you can go to this site and find out about. This is the developer directory, so I wanted to show you that it is live. We have real folks who have already signed up and are being listed with specific skill sets. And merchants can sort by different statuses and information, as well as what their skill set is here at the top with PayPal or eBay so far. Magento will be added very soon. This is the O'Reilly Dev Zone. As you can see, we have a ton of content and articles here. Over on the left-hand side are blogs. There are so many articles out here on every one of our properties. You can see the Magento series there. We've had some HTML5 series. Andrew Angel, who won one of the developer awards today, has written several articles with O'Reilly. So has Humberto, who runs YOrder, who I think was participating in the speed pitch. YOrder. And so we've had lots of people from the community get involved in this site as well and write articles specific to whatever their passion is. Yeah. I was supposed to wait till the end. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Uh-huh. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into what your decision process is? Like for feedback? My clients are asking for 2 features right now. Uh-huh. To get that to you, is the turnaround on that 3 months, 6 months? Yeah, okay. That's a valid question. It depends, and I think that it'll be a little harder for me to gauge that because of the expanding of our properties. But in the past, our life cycle runs on a yearly basis, so I will usually be able to get it into the next year's life cycle. It depends, though. It depends on how big the feature is, of course. We have to scope it and go through the product life cycle with a product manager writing up a spec. In the past, what I've done is actually have the developer get on the phone with product and give a detailed description on what they believe they would like, and then we write something up. We get a scoping, and then we find out when it could be built, and that is all done with communication to the developer. When we get something from the developer council, what we'd like to start doing is that the developer council will determine, as a group, what is the most important thing to ask for from their perspective, because sometimes you'll get a group of people in a room that have very differing needs, and so we want to make sure we're prioritizing from a group perspective rather than individual. And it has been a kind of an ad hoc process in the past. We definitely are going to programize it a little bit more going forward because of just the breadth of our product set. Okay, now you can't ask any more questions. Not yet, anyway. And then I wanted to do not a plug for myself, but a plug for our profile page. So one of the things that we're going to do with all of our all of the functionality I've been talking about is the X.com profile has a lot of things on it, from skill set to bio information to eventually the ability to hire you from your profile page. So I really want to encourage you to go out and participate in creating a profile and being on X.com. Not only does that let us know that who you are and that you're developing on our products, but it also is going to be a way in the future to get your recommendations up and get your reputation built on X.com to get hired and become part of the community. And you can take the X.commerce pledge right there, see? Okay. Oh, I didn't want that. So that's what I have, and I'm now you can ask questions. And I have, let me see how many T-shirts I have. I have 2 or 3 more T-shirts. Questions, anyone?
Is she single?
Very. You want to know where I got my orange shoes? No, I was kidding. Oh, somebody in the back. No, we didn't do Tom. I'm blushing. I already said my mom was going to watch this, people. Come on. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We also have a hashtag on Twitter. It's X.com with 2 M's, 1. So XCOMM1. Hashtag, and she'll ask from there. MJ. Oh, sorry. We had a question in the back. Can you wait for a sec? Okay. They were there first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know when you're releasing the O'Reilly book edition 2.
I don't know yet the exact date. It will be in the next 6 to 9 months. We're also creating a cookbook this year on X.commerce, and I'm not, again, 6 to 9 months for release.
All right. So my name's MJ, and my question from watching the conference this weekend and looking around is there's a lot of potential with the X.fabric and what's going on there. And, you know, I work with people on the integration side, so I'm kind of in merchants conceptualizing products to use all these features and things like that. So where's the best place to go to discuss more, almost like the thought leadership side of what is possible with the platform and social commerce? Like where's the best place to do that? X.com.
So every one of our partner folks, our product folks, everyone who's determining roadmap and talking about trends in commerce, all the people who have spoken here, they're all on X.com and they're all part of this conversation. Okay. So my recommendation would be to do 2 things. One is, of course, forum functionality we're all pretty familiar with, so going out and starting a discussion on a forum is one way to do it. But the reason we have decided to roll out wikis is just for this purpose, right, to have kind of collaborative documentation growing on X.com itself. So as soon as we roll out that functionality, I would say that that is a great place to have those kind of discussions on thought leadership and create running documentation on that conversation.
Okay, great.
Thanks, MJ. I can't answer that question. I have not heard of any plan to roll Magento into X.com.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
Lauren from Groove Store. Quick question. Well, I've been developing with PayPal for a few years now, and I know when I try and look up some API calls and stuff, there's documentation on this site, there's documentation on this site. There's a lot of stuff all over the place. So
you want me to talk about the plans for that?
Yeah, like
okay,
where are we going to go for documentation now, or with the latest, updates?
Yeah, it's a great question. When we rolled out X.com, originally we actually transferred all of the information from another developer site that we had for years that had all of our documentation on it. And we kept them both live for a couple reasons, but mostly because there was some functionality on the old site that didn't exist on the new site. There is now a plan to end of life the Developer Central or the Integration Center, which is one of the sites you're talking about. And all of the documentation is on X.com and will remain there. So it will be your documentation area to go to. When John Donahoe announced the combination of all of our developer communities, and there's a great video of him discussing that and why that's important to us as an organization, he did say that X.com is the place that developers will go for everything they need to build on our platform. So X.com will be your documentation area. And we are improving our documentation pretty significantly, not only with resource allocation, but we're actually changing the way we do documentation. One of the feedback we got, a couple of feedbacks. One is yours that you just mentioned. You have like 20 sites with documentation. But the other one was that we had very long tomes, product docs, that had a lot of information in them, everything you'd ever need to know about that API call, really long 200-page documents, right? And what developers want is something simpler and easier and quick start. So we've created a team that's just doing that. what they're doing is we have our product doc team that's writing the big, long product docs. And then we have another team that's just doing quick start guides around specific use cases, specific products, so that developers can get up and running quickly in 5 to 10 steps to get something off the ground. And that could be a mobile app or something with our adaptive payment APIs, or something with our finding APIs on the eBay side. So we're doing that across the board on our properties. So I hope that helps your issue, not only getting rid of some of these duplicative sites, but also changing the documentation to be more useful for developers. It really is a concerted effort. And in fact, Praveen Olavilli, because I spelled his name wrong, he runs that team. And he also runs our tools team that makes our SDKs. And we're doing standardization across those as well. So we've really taken a new focus on how we are communicating and the tool sets we're providing developers. Does that answer your question okay? Awesome. Yes, sir.
Just to kind of piggyback on the whole PHP thing.
Yeah.
So just to piggyback on the whole PHP thing a little bit, I know PHP is definitely the biggest developer group that you guys support. Is there any plans, though, to create more sample code and examples in more languages or make the documentation more language agnostic?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, with this tool set, thanks for doing that for me. It really was a great segue. This new tool set standardization, absolutely. We're actually building in the ability to create toolkits very simply so that we can do them in multiple languages and make them more standard. So absolutely, that is something that we're doing. There's no reason why we can't have samples and toolkits in all languages that are available. And they change all the time, so we should have new ones available easily and quickly. So yes. And again, any conversation around tools or anything, I can certainly get you to the right people. You can write me if you have suggestions or anything like that. We can have that conversation. Happy to.
Hey, Carolyn, there are a couple of questions via Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an after party to this session?
No, because everyone needs to get some sleep, and I can't afford another tattoo. So.
And the other one is there a plan to use IRC for support?
We have talked about chat, and in fact, we've piloted it a couple times. I actually piloted it when I was in MTS with Autumn back there when I ran MTS, which was our merchant technical support group. It's been kind of lukewarmly received, to be honest, and it is a high touch support mechanism. So we haven't really gotten a lot of groundswell from the community about using it. We certainly have the ability to. So I think we'll probably keep trying it and see if it mixes with our changes in community. But yeah, the functionality is available. We just haven't had a great response from the community about using it.
Hi.
Hi.
This has been a wonderful couple of days, and I'm looking forward to Dev Camp tomorrow. My question is, how soon are we going to have the next one?
Well, we plan this yearly, so I would say 2012, but again, I have not seen any plan for Innovate next year yet, so I can't answer that completely. I really think that this is a great event as well, and I hope we continue to do it, and it's just as fantastic. We've had 3 years of this event, and every year it gets better. Shout out to all the people who are involved. There's lots of them in this room. So as soon as we know, we will let you know for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's just exhausting to me to think about. I'm just kidding. Sarah's not kidding.
I really like the development or developer support that X.com can provide, as well as the collaboration. But let's say, for instance, I mean, is this just a community where developers go and collaborate, and is the support and documentation available to developers just limited to collaboration, or do you plan to do any kind of tiered pricing for expedited support ticket type scenarios? Because I work for a B2B wholesale distribution company, and we're very interested in incorporating the Fabric into our enterprise framework. But if it doesn't make sense, and if there's no support there that's readily available, is the suggestion or the recommendation to go directly to, Magento support, PayPal support, et cetera?
Yeah.
Or do you guys plan to, make X.com kind of a landing zone for stuff like that?
It's a great question. We are still working out the support strategy, to be completely honest. For now, we are running as separate entities, so Magento support has its own support, PayPal has its own support. eBay has its own support. We are working out, and in fact, right now I was on a call a couple days ago talking about how we make that better for the customer, the developer. So I think you'll hear a lot more about that coming up. In the past, we've had both models. PayPal's been completely free support for our merchants and developers for years, and in fact, I led that group. So we just if anybody has a question, we answer it, right? eBay has price support, and as does Magento. So I think that what we're working out now is how that's going to work again, so we can have something be pretty similar across the board, so we don't have to have asterisks by everything. But I'm sure you can imagine that is a complicated issue, but we know it's important, and we know for people to use our products, we have to have something going forward. So I would say in the next little bit, we're going to have something out on the site that'll tell you that. Are you going to ask me another mean question again?
Lauren again. So is there any opportunity to put up a roadmap of what features will be coming ahead of time?
That's a great question, too. It's certainly something that I believe in, personally. We've done a little bit of it, right? At PayPal, again, we had release notes that we put out quarterly that talk about features that are coming in the next release. We also recently, another great thing that we've done recently is we've actually started putting out issues that have been fixed by the release. So basically fixed bugs, which is super cool too. I think that you'll probably see something similar going forward, that we'll put out some release notes that'll give you some idea about what's coming soon. But I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet.
Just the reason I asked for it is because, for me, with my business and my product, I'm always planning ahead as to how I'm going to provide service to my customers. Mm-hmm. And if I knew this certain feature will be coming up in 4 months or something, it would have saved me, it would have helped me out a lot. So that's the main reason why.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that feedback, and I will once again give it to the team.
Okay,
I think it's a great point, and I think we need to work through what that looks like for everyone. Thanks for asking me another mean question. He's tough on me, that's why I'm giving him a hard time. Which one? Who are you going to call? Oh, yeah. So I had a great story from Imagine, a speaker there. Imagine's Magento's conference. A speaker there said, when your customers complain, what they're really saying is, I want to love you, but I cannot. And I thought, that is the best support line ever. That's why I do support. Because really, if somebody's taking the time to write you a note and tell you how horrible you are, they really do want to love you. That's what I tell myself. That may be why I'm single. But I'm bummed. We have way too much fun on the community team.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
To follow up on the question about support, have you got anything in the works for certified developers to have a special, isolated, expedited support mechanism for them?
Yeah, we don't, but it certainly is a valid ask, and I will put that to the team. We're building out certification right now. As when Magento came on board, they have this great certification thing going already, so we really want to work how that's going to go across the board. So I'll definitely bring that to the team that's building it. It's a great idea.
Just a follow-up question. Could you give us a little bit more insights on your plans to standardize across tools and SDKs?
I can. I won't probably speak to it as well as Praveen would, and I don't know if he's here. Gosh, see, he abandoned me in my time of need. I tell you what, why don't instead of doing it in justice, why don't you come up after and I'll give you my information and I can have somebody write you. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay, great. Because he would be a much more technical person to talk about it than I would. It's going to be really great.
Did you mention that the PayPal certified developers now, is that being thrown out completely, or?
No, we actually stopped the testing. So everyone who's currently a certified developer is still listed as a certified developer, and they're in a directory as a certified developer, and that's still available on our site. Speaking 101, turn off your screensaver. But, sorry. It is. If you go to X.com and you go to developers, you can see the PayPal certified developer directory. We are revamping the program, though, and actually I sent an email out to all the certified developers when we did that to say, hey, we're revamping it. It was out of date. We needed to add our mobile and adaptive products to it for PayPal. So we're doing that right now and plan to roll it out again in 2012. And we'll do something with the current certified group that will be a special, introduction to it. Sorry? Yeah, it'll be a retest just like it was when we rolled out the last 2 times, but it'll be a special introduction for the current group to do that. And in fact, anyone who is a certified developer, please go out to Odesk and register and give me your certified developer information. I will add you to that group as well, so you're automatically added. We love our certified developers. And really exciting about certification is eBay hasn't had one before, and we're doing that too. So that's going to be super exciting. We've actually had a lot of response on the eBay test on Odesk as well. So I'm really excited to see who comes out for eBay certification. I have to express my overall joy with the number of people in this room at this late time of the conference and the fact that it's almost 5 o'clock. And thank you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for coming and being so interactive and sitting on the bean bags. Thank you so much. Anybody have any other questions? I don't think we have any today. We drank it all last night. Thank you, everyone.